We start off today's wrestling news and rumors video with a big update regarding Ronda Rousey's status with the WWE, because if you hadn't known, Ronda's still under contract with the company until April 2021, which means that theoretically, Ronda could be making her return to WWE at any point in the near future. And according to one of our sources, Vince McMahon is actually in the process of planning Ronda Rousey's return right now, with one rumor indicating that Ronda could return as soon as the WWE draft beginning tomorrow night on Friday Night SmackDown, with the rumor stating that if Ronda Rousey was to return soon, it would likely occur on this coming week's episode of Monday Night Raw, which is the final day of the 2020 WWE Draft, with Rousey officially joining the Raw brand. However, if Vince holds off on having Ronda return in the coming weeks, fans should definitely expect the former Raw Women's Champion to be back very soon, because we have been told that Vince McMahon feels the women's division on Monday Night Raw needs some excitement once again and a much needed credibility boost, with one source mentioning that Vince doesn't feel Asuka is adding much to the Raw Women's title, and overall lacks the credibility to get fans interested in the division on Raw, and thinks that Ronda Rousey could instantly legitimize the Raw Women's division. While Charlotte Flair is reportedly set to return to TV soon as well, we have been informed that Ronda Rousey is the favorite right now to end Asuka's reign as a Raw Women's Champion. Let us know if you agree with Vince McMahon that the Raw Women's division is pretty lackluster right now with Asuka as a current Raw Women's Champion, and do you think that Ronda Rousey making a big return in the near future to win back the Raw Women's title would make the division interesting again? Or is this yet another example of Vince overlooking his talented full-time superstars like Asuka and instead wanting to push special appearance part-timers instead? There's no doubt that most wrestling fans were very excited when the rumors of Wade Barrett returning to WWE came true back in late August of 2020, and while Wade's return was not exactly what most had in mind, with Barrett returning to WWE for a non-wrestling role in NXT as a commentator, it looks as though there's still a very real possibility that Wade Barrett will be returning to the ring sometime in the not-so-distant future if rumors prove to be true. In a recent interview, while Wade Barrett made it clear to fans that his wrestling career is nearing its end from an in-ring standpoint, with Wade referencing his advancing age and wear and tear on his body, Barrett also mentioned that he still wants to accomplish one thing that he didn't get to do in his last run in WWE, that being winning the WWE Championship, and Wade noted that his friend Drew McIntyre is currently the reigning WWE Champion, and that he would be tempted to return to the ring if he were to be given an opportunity at Drew's title for a couple of matches. While it's reportedly doubtful that Wade Barrett will ever be returning to the ring full-time like before, we'd reached out to one of our sources for some more information regarding any plans of Wade Barrett wrestling in WWE, and apparently, Vince McMahon is not opposed to the idea of having Wade Barrett wrestle a few special matches in the company, with one source noting that Vince is actually very keen on the idea of Wade Barrett challenging for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship. Although in all likelihood, Wade Barrett would simply act as a special opponent for Drew McIntyre in a one-and-done pay-per-view match, and not actually win the title, but regardless it would certainly be intriguing to see Wade Barrett back in the ring once again. But at the same time, it cannot be argued that Wade Barrett would likely have a lot of ring rust after not wrestling a match for about 4 years. As well, we should also note that while Wade Barrett likely won't ever wrestle again for WWE full-time, after his rumored special one-off match against Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, Vince feels that Wade could be a cool addition to Raw Underground every now and then, especially when you take into account Wade's bare-knuckle boxing past, which certainly fits in well with the whole Raw Underground theme. Ever since Otis shockingly won the 2020 Men's Money in the Bank ladder match and captured that coveted briefcase, many fans have been curious as to whether or not Otis would be the man to cash in the briefcase on an unsuspecting WWE or Universal Champion, or if Otis would be losing his Money in the Bank briefcase to another superstar, considering it seemed as though Otis is mainly a comedic character and not to be taken seriously as a world title contender or even a champion if he were to cash in the briefcase successfully. While rumors continue to go around regarding the WWE's plans for Otis to lose the Money in the Bank briefcase to another superstar very soon, apparently the reason why WWE have held off on getting the briefcase off of Otis is because Otis's biggest fan behind the scenes is Vince McMahon, and he has apparently loved Otis's work with this whole storyline so far, and feels there's no need to rush for Otis to lose the briefcase yet, despite the fact that McMahon does eventually plan for the big man to lose the coveted briefcase to another star. We have been informed that Otis is a very likely candidate to be drafted over to the Raw brand during the 2020 WWE Draft, so in all likelihood, Otis will eventually be losing his Money in the Bank briefcase to a Raw superstar. Let us know your thoughts on the WWE prolonging Otis's involvement with the Money in the Bank briefcase simply because Vince loves Otis's comedic storyline. And if you had to choose, which WWE superstar do you think Otis should lose the briefcase to? Or do you think that the best outcome or option would be to have Otis attempt to cash in the briefcase and fail to win the title? We now have our main story for this video, and it is regarding the new rumors that have begun to go around about The Rock possibly making his huge WWE return at the upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event towards the end of the month, to either interfere during or after Roman Reigns' scheduled Universal title match against his cousin Jey Uso. As most of you are likely aware, there had previously been some rumors going around that The Rock would have returned to WWE at the last pay-per-view event Clash of Champions 2020 to confront the new heel Roman Reigns after destroying his cousin Jey Uso, but apparently Vince McMahon felt that was too soon for The Rock to get involved in a big storyline with Roman Reigns, and feels it would make more sense for The Rock to return at Hell in a Cell 2020, which will effectively mark Roman Reigns' second match against Jey Uso, a match that will likely see Roman Reigns destroy his cousin once again, although this time the destruction of Jey Uso will likely be greater than last time, hence why it would make sense for The Rock to return and seek revenge on Roman Reigns. As well, over the past couple of weeks, both Roman Reigns and The Rock have begun buzzing their potential feud across social media, something Vince reportedly instructed the two superstars to do leading up to Hell in a Cell, in order to get fans ready for what could certainly be a huge moment at the next pay-per-view event, with The Rock attempting to end heel Roman Reigns, and put the big dog in his place after losing sight of who he truly is over the past month since his return and alignment with Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns has made it clear that his Universal Championship match against Jey Uso at Hell in a Cell will have some very high stakes and consequences involved, with one source mentioning that the stakes involved in this title match will likely be either the loser leaves WWE or the SmackDown brand, but there's no doubt that Reigns could be planning something much bigger for this match, so time will only tell. However, while The Rock's rumored return at Hell in a Cell 2020 would certainly offer the WWE a huge opportunity to give fans a surprise title change, with The Rock helping Jey Uso win the title from a distracted Roman Reigns, a new backstage rumor has indicated that the most likely scenario will see The Rock make his presence felt after Roman Reigns defeats Jey Uso with the huge stakes coming into play and essentially devastating Jey Uso, only for The Rock to return and thus begin his big feud with heel Roman Reigns. Let us know your thoughts on the rumors going around regarding The Rock returning to WWE at Hell in a Cell to kickstart his rivalry with his cousin Roman Reigns. And do you think WWE should book a surprise title change with The Rock helping Jey Uso win the title?